Welcome back to Undisputed. The Herd is coming up right after us, so let's check in with Colin this morning. Hey, Colin, what are you starting with?
Well, the nickname is King James. He's the most powerful athlete in the history of this country, and if you doubted it, it has been on display in the last 24 hours. That's coming up.
Well, speaking of that guy, Colin, the Lakers were finally hitting their stride before the boycott of games, and the Blazers are officially without Damian Lillard, who left the bubble to take care of his injured knee. Game 5 was scheduled for Wednesday and will now be played either tonight or sometime this weekend. So, Shannon, what do you expect when they do play this game?
It's over now.
Well,
yeah, I expected to close it out, Skip.
I hope so.
You expect that also. Look. The Blazers have struggled to score points. They were averaging 126 points, yet they get 103. And they don't have an answer for LeBron or AD. And it wasn't like Dame was guarding either of those guys. But they're going to really struggle to score now, Skip. And so I expect the Lakers to close it out. LeBron James will go on and do what he does. Miss trip dub, clear quarantine.
You think so?
Yeah, he might not even been there long enough to get that trip dub. Yeah. But it won't be long. It's over.
Well, I don't expect the Blazers to boycott. I expect them to forfeit because they probably should. I thought maybe on Wednesday they could dredge up what was left of their pride. And they could reach down and they could put up a fight and not let LeBron front run on him like he did the previous game.
They did the front run.
Nope. Now Damian Lillard is gone. They have had to wait 3 endless days in the bubble to get eliminated. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 Cancun, and it's going to be over and out for the Trailblazers. They're going to lose by 35.
That's the worst feeling ever, Skip. I remember my brother and I, we would act up, and my grandma was like, when I get you home, I'm going to cut your... I mean, you just got to sit, you just got to think about it. You think... So they've been thinking about this for 3 days.
And wait.
Knowing little Goat James going to go off him and AD.
Yep. And I think Rondo will have time to be back.
Well, that's what you get.
Back in
you shouldn't have won game. And see, if you'd went ahead and lost game 4, it'd have been over with.
Yep.
But no, you wanted to play hard, so we got to make you suffer.
Really?
Yep.
So, advantage LeBron, way to go. The pressure is now on the Lakers. They should be prohibitively favored to win this championship. Clippers are in disarray, psychological, emotional disarray.
We went from the Blazers to talking about the Clippers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how we're going to end this thing. Jeez, I have so many questions. Good stuff today, guys. That is it for Undisputed. We'll be back at the same time Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. The Herd is next. Have a good weekend. Or tomorrow, but reports are that tomorrow is the more likely scenario. It's taken several players' meetings as well as back and forth with owners to be able to resume play and continue the playoffs. So, Shannon, where are we now, really, with all of this?
Well, what the NBA did by boycotting the other day, Skip, it brought the issue back to the forefront that was in everybody's view before they went to the bubble. That's what they did. They paused. MLB even took a pause. MLS took a pause.
Yep.
The NHL took a pause. So now, this wasn't just a sports story, Skip. This was a news story that not only sports were talking about it, other channels that don't really cover sports were talking about why the NBA players boycotted playing on a particular day. So it brought the attention right back to where the players wanted it to be because they felt it was being forgotten all over again.
Yep.
They say, no. You're getting too far away. You're not talking about it. We don't feel that we're being heard again. Let's push the brake on this.
Yep.
Pause this for just a second so we can shine some light, give voices to, and then we start this thing over again. So I thought it would look, I think they did an excellent job. I commend the players, everybody that says, hey, let's shut it down for a minute. And now, owners, politicians, you say you care. Skip, I hit it like, oh, I care, Black Lives Matter. What you gonna do about it now?
Yep.
What are you really gonna do?
All right, I hear you, and I agree with you. Yet, the most frustrating moment from what I read about that 8 p.m. Eastern Time meeting on Wednesday night came when Andre Iguodala, for whom I have huge respect, Vice President of the Players Association, stood up and asked the room full of players and coaches, does anybody know about the Senate bill before the legislature in the state of California? It's a landmark bill about police reform.
It's watered down.
And nobody knew anything about it.
No.
Nobody knew anything. So, again, I'm not that political, but I've read a lot about it. It is watered down, but it's about certification of police officers or decertification.
Yes.
It's a huge start toward what could be the way to control the police forces going forward. And yet it frustrates me because the Clippers and Lakers, and that night they both were threatening to sacrifice the rest of the season.
Right.
And then my man Shannon Sharpe is saying, action, we need action. And it made me think, why couldn't LeBron and Kawhi have gone to Sacramento before the bubble? Because clearly it was on the docket already. It's about to be voted on. It's in trouble right now.
Right.
And again, you say it's watered down.
Yeah.
But the point is, it wasn't watered down in the beginning. And if some of the more powerful Clippers, Lakers, I don't know, Golden State Warriors, Stephen Clay, could have gone to Sacramento to lobby for it, that's action. They're such powerful figures. They could go and turn heads in Sacramento, to me.
You know what happened, Skip? The police unions got to it.
Okay.
And that's what happened.
Well, I know, but that's what you're up against.
Yes.
This was an attempt to undercut the police union's power. And it would have if it could have sailed through as it was written in the beginning.
I don't think that was ever going to be the case, but I agree with you. People should just educate. I think we got to stop just focusing so much on the big picture. Skip, I think sometimes you just look at the top. Man, it's a beautiful, oh, man, we got to get to the top. And everybody's looking at the presidential election. But there's a lot of steps along the way.
A lot.
A lot of steps that can go towards a long way of this bridge that we need to cross. The local, hey, you got to get on the down ballot. Everybody's just looking at the up ballot, the big at the top. But it's those down ballots, Skip, that goes a long way into dealing with what we want to and trying to get accomplished.
Okay. The best thing about all this, for what it's worth, there has been huge awareness created about what you just talked about.
Yes.
People are starting to think about it because you're talking about it and they are talking about it.
It brought the attention back to what matters. I think that is what you said, Shannon. Proud of these athletes, but you have to ask the question, how will it affect them? How's LeBron? How are the Lakers? We discuss what they are standing with next. To finish out the playoffs, the league released a statement saying, quote, "We are hopeful to resume games either Friday or Saturday." LeBron also changed his tune from pushing to cancel the season Wednesday night to yesterday siding with the majority of the players who wanted to play. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard with us this morning. Chris, what do you make of LeBron's change of heart here?
Well, I was incredibly surprised a few nights ago when the reports came out that LeBron had decided they should boycott the rest of the season. I mean, I was shocked that he was on that side of things, knowing how much he wanted to win this championship and knowing that, you know, dating back months ago when talk of boycotting came up before they even went to the bubble, that he never even considered it, never even wanted to really discuss it. And so that surprised me, and I think the fact that he went there a couple of nights ago and was ready to give it all up just speaks to his frustration with the way things were playing out. And while I certainly support and have no problem with what the Bucks did, LeBron was clearly frustrated by that. We know that everything he says and does is calculated and well thought out, and that's one of the reasons he's done so many great things that he has. And to see the Bucks do it without a well-thought-out long-term plan, I think that just rocked him. Like, it wasn't the way he rolls. It wasn't the way he does things. And I think he was ready to just say, all right, forget it. And remember, we've heard LeBron allude a few times to how challenging it's been to him in the bubble. He hasn't gotten specific and told us what he's really talking about, but he has said several times that he's not really enjoying the way things are going there in the bubble off the court, whatever that may be, missing his family, you know, not being with his mother, his children, his wife, all of that, and maybe other things. And so I think he was feeling like, I'm giving up all of this, and another player or team can just take away this, what I'm sacrificing all this for, without even consulting me. And so I think all of that in the heat of the moment just got to him. And, you know, he stormed out of the room and was ready to give it all up. And after talking with people, obviously relaxing, thinking about it again, I think he came back to the conclusion that led him to the bubble, which is I can do both. I can use my platform to draw attention to what's going on and make these strong statements. And I can win this championship for myself and for the Lakers. Remember, this is a big thing, too, in the year of the tragic death of Kobe Bryant. So I think that's how I view LeBron's kind of roller coaster ride these past few days.
Well, for me, I don't believe he ever really wanted to boycott. I just think the thing is that he's trying to leverage, and he did a great job of leveraging it. And I do agree, Skip. It's been reported that he and Chris Paul and some others had to come up with a plan of what was going to be their next course of action. And it seemed like the Bucks didn't have a well thought out plan. Well, maybe the Bucks says, guys, y'all need to get. If the Bucks had said, look, whatever the plan may be, can y'all get it to us? Because we're going to be up and at this thing early in the morning. And so we need to have an idea of kind of where you want to go with this. And because I guess Chris Paul and LeBron didn't get back to them, they were like, oh, okay, well, what we going to do? And it was like right up until the umpteenth minute, they weren't really sure what they wanted to do. And so when they did what they did, it caused a ripple effect. And so now it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You canceled because it was reported that Toronto and the Celtics were discussing it. But the Bucks were up first. So the Bucks say, yeah, okay, we're going to do this. And so it caused a series of events, a chain of events that I don't know if anybody else outside of the Bucks were prepared for. Now, granted, okay, if you don't want to give the league a heads up, okay, I get that. But normally, the Players Association, led by Chris Paul and Michelle Roberts, they normally do a great job. They're normally on the same page. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is what we need to do, and let's go from there. And so when that didn't happen, I'm sure it caused some frustration on LeBron and some others' part. But I don't believe LeBron was very, very, very serious about leaving.